Giraffes are the tallest land animals. A giraffe could look into a second-story window without even having to stand on its tiptoes. A giraffe 6 foot 1.8 meter. Neck weighs about 600 pounds, 272 kilograms. The legs of a giraffe are also 6 feet 1.8 meters long. The back legs look shorter than the front legs, but they are about the same length. A giraffe's heart is 2 feet 0.6 meters long and weighs about 25 pounds, 11 kilograms, and its lungs can hold 12 gallons, 55 liters of air. Its closest relative is the okapi. Giraffes have a small hump on their back and have a spotted pattern similar to that of a leopard. For a long time, people called a giraffe a camel leopard because they believed that it was a combination of a camel and a leopard. That's where the giraffe's name camelopardalis comes from. Although a study of giraffe genetics published in the scientific journal Current Biology concluded that there are actually 4 distinct species of giraffes, said to be as different from each other as polar bears are from brown bears. One is currently recognized with 9 subspecies. The subspecies have different coat patterns and live in different parts of Africa. Giraffe coat colors vary from light tan to practically black. The differences occur due to what the giraffes eat and where they live. Each individual giraffe's markings are as individual as our fingerprints. Maasai giraffes from Kenya have patterns that look like oak leaves. Uganda or Rothschild's giraffes sport large, brown splotches separated by thick beige lines. The reticulated giraffe, found only in northern Kenya, has a dark coat with a seaming web of narrow white lines. How many bones are there in a giraffe's neck? Just like humans, giraffes have 7 neck vertebrae. For giraffes, however, each one can be over 10 inches, 25.4 centimeters, long. Physical characteristics. Height. Giraffes are the tallest land animals on Earth, with males reaching up to 18 feet, 5.5 meters, and females up to 14 feet, 4.3 meters in height. Their long necks alone could be around 6 feet, 1.8 meters, long. Pattern. Each giraffe has a unique coat pattern made up of brown patches separated by lighter lines. This pattern can help them camouflage in the wild and is unique to each individual, like human fingerprints. Tongue. Their tongues can be up to 18 inches, 45 centimeters, long and are typically dark purple or blue in color. This helps protect them from sunburn as they graze on treetops. Behavior and diet. Diet. Giraffes are herbivores and primarily feed on leaves, especially from acacia trees. They use their long necks and prehensile tongues to reach high branches. Social structure. Giraffes live in loose social groups called herds. These herds can change composition regularly and include males, females, and young giraffes. Communication. They communicate through a range of vocalizations, including hums, grunts, and snorts. They also use body language, such as necking, swinging their necks, during fights between males. Habitat and conservation. Habitat. Giraffes are native to Africa and can be found in savannas, grasslands, and open woodlands. They are most commonly seen in regions like East Africa and Southern Africa. Conservation status. Giraffes are currently classified as vulnerable by the International Union for Conservation of Nature, IUCN. They face threats from habitat loss, poaching, and human-wildlife conflict. Daily routine. Feeding. Giraffes spend a significant portion of their day foraging for food. With their long necks and prehensile tongues, they can reach leaves, twigs, and fruits high up in the trees. They usually feed in the early morning and late afternoon to avoid the intense midday heat. Social interaction. Giraffes are social animals and often form loose groups called herds. These herds can be quite fluid, with individuals coming and going. Herds usually consist of females and their young, while males may form bachelor groups or wander alone. Resting and sleeping. Giraffes rest standing up or lying down, with short sleep cycles totaling about 4.6 hours per day. They are always alert to potential predators, so their sleep is often light and intermittent. Behavior and communication. Necking. Male giraffes engage in behavior known as necking, where they swing their necks and heads at each other in a display of dominance. This behavior helps establish social hierarchy and can sometimes lead to violent confrontations. Vocalizations. Although they are generally quiet animals, giraffes use various sounds like hums, snorts, and grunts to communicate. They also rely on body language and posturing to convey messages within the herd. Reproduction and parenting. Mating. Female giraffes reach sexual maturity at around 4 years old, while males mature later, around 7 years old. Mating often involves males competing for the attention of females through necking displays. Calving. Female giraffes give birth to a single calf after a gestation period of around 15 months. Calves are born standing up and are able to stand and walk within a few hours of birth. The mother is highly protective of her calf and will stay close to it for the first few weeks of its life. Raising calves. Calves stay with their mothers for up to 18 months, learning essential survival skills, such as foraging and avoiding predators. During this time, they may form creches, nursery groups, with other calves for added protection. Diet. Primary food source. Giraffes are herbivores, and their diet mainly consists of leaves, twigs, and fruits from various trees and shrubs. Their favorite trees are acacias, which provide a high-protein diet. Selective browsers. Giraffes are selective feeders. They carefully pick the most nutritious leaves and buds using their prehensile lips and long tongues. Feeding mechanism. Tongue. Giraffes have a remarkably long tongue that can extend up to 18 inches, 45 centimeters. Their tongues are dark purple or blue, which helps protect them from sunburn while they spend hours feeding. Neck. Their long necks allow them to reach foliage that is out of reach for most other herbivores. This gives them access to food sources that other animals cannot exploit. Feeding behavior. Feeding times. Giraffes generally feed during the cooler parts of the day, early morning and late afternoon. This helps them avoid the midday heat. Daily intake. An adult giraffe consumes about 75 pounds, 34 kilograms, of foliage per day. Due to their high-protein diet, they spend much of their time eating. Water. Although giraffes get most of their water from the moisture in leaves, they do drink water when it is available. To drink, they spread their front legs and bend down, a position that makes them vulnerable to predators. Special adaptations. Thorns. Giraffes can eat thorny plants, like acacia trees, without getting hurt. Their tongues and mouths are tough enough to handle the thorns. Digestive system. Giraffes are ruminants, which means they have a complex, multi-chambered stomach. They chew their food, swallow it, then regurgitate it as cud, and chew it again. This process helps them break down tough plant material and extract maximum nutrients.